So by now, I know you've heard of the metaverse.
How far are we from Ready Player One gaming? In some ways, it feels like we're already there.
I also know you've seen the massive amount of money being spent in said metaverse.
Virtual real estate is beginning to sell for as much as $2.5 million in Decentraland. Someone purchased land right next to Snoop Dogg for $500,000. Axie Infinity users are converting digital currency into an $82,000 a year salary. And as a result, Facebook is going all in on the concept, dedicating over 10,000 employees to building out the next digital world of opportunity.
So all this spending got me thinking. The future of the metaverse might be too good to be true. So with all the talk of the good of the metaverse, let's look at the bad. I mean, for one, let's just talk about the elephant in the room.
I don't know if I necessarily buy into this metaverse stuff. Although people talk to me a lot about it. It's Web3, you know, like, sure, you can put a TV on your nose. Yeah. I'm not sure that makes you in the metaverse, you know. It's like weird, like, you know, when I grew up, it was like, don't sit too close to TV, it's gonna ruin your eyesight. Right. And now I got like TV is like literally right here. I'm like, what? Is that good for you?
I think Elon's right. This contraceptive helmet has to go. It makes no sense. I mean, we saw the tragedy that was the Snapchat goggles and how that didn't catch on. Who's to say this will? Now, granted, the metaverse Oculus headset are too heavy. You may get lines on your face. In fact, even one boy in Manchester, United Kingdom, was reported to have gotten an allergic reaction when getting the Oculus during Christmas. That doesn't look so good. That doesn't look so good. Talk about a cervical chiropractor's dream. I mean, just having this heavy weight weighing on top of your nose for how many, God knows how many hours. We've seen how much hours people put into video games with controllers. Imagine one that you're physically in, mentally, or visually, I should say. You're going to wear this a lot. And I just know for a fact, our necks are not going to make it unless they make it lighter. Like, could you imagine in the future how many people are going to need chiropractors due to this headset? I honestly, I can't imagine. It probably goes something like this. Hey, patient. What can I do for you? Got this VR headset for Christmas and I haven't seen my willy since. My neck's been stuck. All right, bad jokes aside, the point is you get it. This helmet, from what I'm hearing, is getting better over the years. If you fast forward from 2017 until now in 2022, the headsets have gotten considerably lighter and much more comfortable, which means that the reality that we'll wear these headsets is much closer towards a possibility. Does it mean it's going to look good? No. Does it mean it's going to be comfortable? No. Does it mean that it may lower the chance of birth rates? More on that in a little bit. And I know what you're thinking.
How could you say this without even trying it?
Well, folks, it's the same reason we read Amazon reviews before we press purchase. You kind of see what other people are saying and what other people's experience are with the service. Now, granted, a lot of it's mostly positive because it's brand new. As human beings, our favorite things are new. That's why we always look for the newest technology, the newest cars, the newest anything gets us excited. And this is definitely the newest technology. That doesn't mean it's all good. In fact, it's probably just a way for many individuals to park their money into to hopefully see a return. I mean, if you're buying a property in a digital space next to Snoop Dogg for around $450,000, you're going to try and see a return on investment, having somebody rent that area and space for you. And all this talk of metaverse, let's look at how it looks currently. Example A. Example B. And example C. Not what we expect. All I'm trying to say, guys, is I'm not trying to be a contrarian. I'm not trying to go against the grain. I'm just trying to think of this critically, all right? We hear so much good about this, so much positivity, so much it will be and it has to be, and not will it really? In a nutshell, all I'm really saying is the technology just isn't there yet. And I'll tell you why. When we think of the metaverse, we think of this. And this.
Clear. Whoa. Then together, we're gonna beat Elon Musk to Mars. Look how close I already am. It's gonna be so easy. And after that, I'm gonna take over the whole galaxy. Simple as that.
Not so much this. When we look at the current generation of graphics, Unreal Engine 5, we are simply amazed. Absolutely breathtaking to see that in my lifetime growing up on Nintendo 64, to see what exactly video game graphics look like now. So I can only imagine in the next 20 odd years what graphics will look like in the future. Will it be nearly indistinguishable from what we see now? It's a possibility. However, for the amount of money that's being thrown at this thing, the amount of hype that's being thrown into this thing, we're certainly not there yet. You know, I certainly am not excited to play or be in a metaverse where the graphics look like Minecraft, you know, or Axie Infinity where it looks like I'm playing a glorified Pokemon game. Now, granted, the catch in the Axie Infinity isn't the immersion in the game. It's a play to earn in the game. And that's its catch. The question is it going to happen as we're marketed towards? I mean, we're throwing so much money into the metaverse. And a large popcorn.
A large? You got money. He got money. Get it all for him.
But will it really be there yet? Now, we all know Facebook, Mr. Zuckerberg, decided to throw in multi-millions of dollars in patents way back in 2018. He saw this before we had any idea the metaverse would be the hype that it is now. Why? Because Zuckerberg understands one thing is true. The metaverse, just like our universe, what keeps us in one space as long as possible is our social relationships. The deeper relationships that you can make on a platform, whether it's Facebook, WhatsApp, or Instagram, the longer you're going to be there. And for old Marky Zuckerberg, that means a lot more ad dollars. And I think he has a point. Business-wise, yes, the metaverse is definitely a brand new frontier when it comes to opportunity. Why? Because the internet is technically infinite. Just as our universe is seemingly infinite, so is the metaverse. And therefore, it's so much more chances to monetize any human beings that may be in that particular area of time. So can you make money off the metaverse? Absolutely. Do you think the money will come quick? I don't. Now, don't get me wrong. Axie Infinity is known to be a much enjoyable game for the masses. When I hear that this is a part of the metaverse, it doesn't really get me excited. When I see Sandbox as a potential use for the metaverse, again, I'm not trying to play in a metaverse that looks like Minecraft. Minecraft is great and all, but it's not that immersive for me to deter from my everyday reality and go play in Sandbox. For some people, I'm sure it is. Decentraland, again, Decentraland is quite interesting. Again, has a childlike appeal to it. It looks playful, bright colors. A lot of things are possible in Decentraland. I mean, technically anything is possible in Decentraland. Overall, it looks fun, but does it have that draw factor that we're all looking for? Does it have the staying factor that we're looking for? Maybe I haven't spent enough time in Sandbox to see the hype that other people are feeling at the moment. Again, I think my point still stands. We want a metaverse that looks similar to The Matrix, that looks similar to Ready Player One, or even the Black Mirror episodes that we've seen where reality was so good, all right, was so good that individuals would rather, instead of see what the afterlife in reality holds for them, they wanted their consciousness, folks, their consciousness to be locked in a server of a metaverse that would serve as their digital heaven. That's the San Junipero episode on Netflix on Black Mirror, if you're curious, and also the show Upload on Amazon Prime, where they had heaven and it was a digital place. Where in this digital heaven, if you didn't pay enough money, you literally didn't have enough data to read or walk around or move or talk or think. You know, pretty dystopian, but I think it's a reality. I think everything is going to be down to dollars, like the metaverse probably will be. Ultimately, it will take at least 10 to 15 years before we see the metaverse reach the heights that we're all hoping it would reach. At least 10 years. Why? Moore's Law, which states that we're going to increase every single year our speed of progression when it comes to computer processing speed, which will allow things like graphics to improve at a much faster rate. I mean, just look, 20 years ago in 2000, what do we have? The PS1. Okay, now look at the PS5 Unreal Engine 5 graphics and compare that 20 years ago. That level of progression from what we saw in 2000 to 2022, we will also see that same 20-year progression done in half the time in 10 years. So if Unreal Engine progresses to that level, maybe, just maybe we'll have a Ready Player One level experience.
You create the narrative. I am metahuman.
However, there are still major questions to be asked. Whose metaverse will we spend the most time in? What will be the most dominant cryptocurrency in all of the metaverse? Because quite frankly, there's way too many. And some think it may be Bitcoin, but there's not enough transactions. Some think it's Ethereum, but it's way too expensive now, at least before E2 comes out, to go ahead and do that. Some think it's a Solana. Some think it's a Polygon. Who knows? Okay, the question is, we don't know yet. And I think having a universal or most common denominator when it comes to cryptocurrency that we will be spending with makes the most sense. It won't be a cryptocurrency that's going to skyrocket in price over time. All right, the US dollar may have an increased value from the day to day, as Forex traders know. However, in order to be a real currency, you can't have that current crazy volatility and fluctuation. It has to be a stable coin. Now that narrows it down. Which stable coin will we use? We don't know yet. And again, how long will it be until we reach Black Mirror level immersion? Okay, not that freaky level of immersion. The immersion I'm talking about is more like the San Junipero immersion, to where you have a story of these two women, both on their deathbed, we are assumed, that go into this metaverse-like world, which is their version of heaven, similar to Upload on Amazon Prime Video. In their metaverse, they're able to build such a strong relationship that they're willing to spend the rest of their lives sending their consciousness uploaded into a server to where they can be together forever. I know, romantic, cool. But the point is, as I said earlier, you're going to spend your most time somewhere where you have the most deep and fulfilling social relationships. If the metaverse in the future is that good to where individuals would rather upload their consciousness, all right, than see what our real life afterlife has for us, whether it be like religion say or something completely different that we can't even imagine, that's the metaverse that, you know, I am looking towards. That's the metaverse that I feel justifies the hype that we're seeing with it. To summarize everything, will the metaverse make you money? Yes. Will the metaverse be the future? In some ways. Will the metaverse be as what it's hyped today? I don't think so, and I'm yet to be convinced. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm not yet convinced.